host of others, with your permission.
The Attorney General of the Federation then gives answers to the questions raised by the lawmakers. He says the rules and proceedings of the 8th National Assembly is not a legal document.
I took pains yesterday, arising from perceived misconception, to take pains to come over to the National Assembly and express the position that my inability to attend was out of sheer circumstances of being unavailable in the country, as at the time the two coincidental invitations were sent, and not out of any desire or any arrogance or disrespect to the institution. I know what the institution stands for, I know what democracy stands for, and I know what the powers of the National Assembly are constitutionally enshrined. I know what the Constitution provided as to the powers of the National Assembly. So, in all sincerity, my inability to reiterate on the issue of apology was out of that appreciation that arising from the understanding that has been reached, arising from that misconception it has. It's an issue that is no longer a live issue for consideration. But with that as it may, I want to reiterate that I am known for a tradition of honoring invitations, social much more of institutional. So that is my position about that. With your permission, I refer you to the votes and proceedings of the Senate of 18th May, conducted on the 18th day of May 2011. Mr. Chairman, by that vote and proceeding, when the need for amendment to the 2007 Senate standing orders arose, Senate as an institution conducted a proceeding, deliberated on the need for amendment, passed a resolution for the amendment, itemizing the relevant rules that were amended. That was in 2011, Mr. Chairman. The Senate standing orders of 2015, as allegedly amended, did not pass through the traditional process of doing things. So in as much as the Senate standing orders of 2011 were the product of the Senate procedure, a procedure that has not undergone the processes of vote and proceedings, deliberations, motion, and resolution can definitely not be the procedure of the Senate. And that is where my quarrel, inherited quarrel for that matter, comes into play. So what we are saying in essence, in as much as the Senate has the powers to regulate its procedures and proceedings, something that is done out of the procedure, out of the processes of the Senate by way of votes and proceedings, deliberations, motions, and resolutions can definitely not come within the purview of Section 60 of the Constitution, much less of being accorded legal and judicial protection. So if for whatever reason it goes without saying that Senate standing orders came about without undergoing the processes as stated above, then it comes within the purview of criminality, and it has to be conducted accordingly.
Malami, while responding to questions by the senators, explained that his action was not only done in good faith, but in the interest of the public, justice, and to further strengthen the nation's nascent democracy. According to him, there are two suits against the culprits: the civil case instituted by the serving senators themselves, and the criminal aspect instituted by the Office of the Honorable Attorney General following the outcome of police investigations on the matter. Justice Malami stresses that his action is guided in his submission to court by the Senate Rule, Chapter 8, Lines 3.
The committee may wish to note that the suit, one of the suits, there are two series of suits anyway. One that predates my appointment as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and then the other that comes about upon my appointment. But the first suit that predates my appointment was a suit that was filed before Federal High Court in suit number FHC/ABJ/CS/646 of 2015, which was indeed a suit instituted at the instance of distinguished serving senators by Senator Gilbert Inaji, and indeed among the papers of the court processes that were filed in that suit was a second defendant's counter affidavit, in which it was clearly deposed to by the second defendant in that suit that the Nigeria police had, as at 12th November 2015, concluded investigation over the alleged forgery of the Senate standing orders. The date of interest is as at 23rd day of July 2015. 23rd day of July 2015. The second defendant in that suit was the Attorney General, and a counter affidavit that was filed by the Office of the Attorney General as at July 2015 deposed to facts that investigation had been concluded. It may interest the committee to note that I was appointed Attorney General of the Federation on the 12th day of November 2015. That was precisely around 4 months after the conclusion of the investigation relating to the forgery case, which has been subsequently instituted by the Office of the Attorney General. As at the time I came into office, there exists that investigation report, which has indeed been concluded. The implication of that position is that, arising from the routine and normal course of business, I have an obligation in the sustenance of the democratic systems that dictates that cases should be instituted upon reasonable grounds for suspicion of the commission of an offense, that I should go ahead and institute an action arising from an investigation that has been inherited. That precisely is the bottom line, the foundation and the basis upon which the case was eventually instituted before the court.
The bill shall be committed.
Recently, the House of Representatives witnessed a rowdy session following the debate on a bill that seeks to grant immunity for the presiding officers of the National Assembly. The bill, sponsored by Minority Leader Leo Ogo, seeks an amendment to Section 308 of the Constitution to give immunity to the Senate President, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Deputy Senate President, and the Deputy Speaker.
The essence of an amendment is to address a mischief that have reared its heads. And you have seen today what is happening even in the Senate. The Senate is under trial where the Senate President and his deputy. Presume on the day where two of them are off for such trials, that automatically means that the Senate will not be able to sit. I think that is not in the national interest.
On the flip side, Majority Leader Femi Gbajabiamila opposes the bill, saying the timing is wrong. Gbajabiamila says, as representatives of the people, there is no way they should grant their leaders any form of immunity, taking a cue from the world norm.
I am yet to be told, in the argument of the minority leader or anybody that has spoken thereafter, of one country in the world, one democracy in the world, where the legislature, either the head of the arm of legislature, is cloaked with immunity.
And when normalcy returned to the House, the Speaker, Yakubu Dogara, referred the bill to the Special Ad Hoc Committee on Constitution Amendment.
The bill is hereby referred to the Special Ad Hoc Committee on Constitutional Review.